All right, my people, how on day to day, I salute every one of you right there. On this particular one, it's still the trendy situation, this trending news from Donald Trump and the threat and possible invasion to Nigeria, to Tinubu particularly, over the genocide, the continuous killing of the Christians. As you and I know, for the past decades, this have been going on. Even though our federal government are trying to deny everything, this have been going on. And people, on this particular one, a Padasu, I dey call him a Padasu because he's an elderly man. A Padasu don't come and I can't give Tinubu advice. Say, don't go and see Trump in America. If not, you will be disgraced. I don't understand how that will happen. But according to a Padasu, if they talk and say, if Tinubu go see Trump, may not come be like say, now disgrace it take come house. Or apart from that, say they can't forcefully remove him from power. May I not to understand this thing, but I thought I should bring this video to you guys so that you can have a look, watch it, leave your opinion on the comment section. Let's learn from each other. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigeria time. Let's continue to talk about things that affect you and I. Guys, let's take this together.
Foreign lobbyists fueling genocide claims in Nigeria, FG.
Okay, so the situation is ongoing. The Nigerian government every day is trying to respond to what I consider a very heavy crisis. I read somewhere that the list for the ambassador, whatever, the appointment of ambassador has been dusted. I don't think we'll be seeing any ambassador in his position. Maybe the earliest time will be towards the end of the first quarter next year. That is probably about March. And I'd like to let you know how it goes. So the Senate hasn't approved. When the Senate approves, the ambassadors have to go for orientation. I think that will take another better part of 2 weeks or something like that. After they do that, then they'll have to, the process of them sending their letters of accreditation, and they cannot resume until they've been formally accepted and acknowledged by their host countries. So I hope the government would learn a lesson from this. There's so many things we hope the government would let us know. In the dispensation towards 2027, I'm sure that the President Tinubu will not try a Muslim ticket again. By now, he will realize that the world is very dynamic. Everything that you do must be well thought out, and just don't make assumptions. And it's not just about victory. It's not about winning the presidency. It's about contributing to society, so that after you've gone, what will people say of you? I'm going to be very blunt in my usual manner. The president has to be very careful. This scenario we're in doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, and there's something telling me if care is not taken, it could be taken out. It could be taken out. I'm not saying he should be, but if care is not taken, it could be taken out. It could be the one put on sacrifice for a resolution of all these things. The luck that the president has, if you ask me, is that Trump himself is not liked by too many people anyway, and not that respected. He's not that kind of president. But then again, probably a more person like Biden or whatever definitely wouldn't be saying, giving instructions to the Minister of War that we are going to invade, because that's what it is. We are going to invade another country, get the army ready, all these strong arm tactics. That's what it is. The president, what we heard was that the president would probably supposed to meet him at the G20 summit, whatever, and the president was going to see him on the sides. He's no longer going for that G20. He has his own beef with the South Africans that they shouldn't be at the G20, and therefore he's not going. What my gut feeling tells me is that President Tinubu should not meet Trump in America on his own home front. However he's going to avoid it, he should. Because what could happen is completely unpredictable. I'm sure I'm just saying this for public knowledge. I'm sure President Tinubu himself knows within himself that after seeing what happened to Ramaphosa and so on, the last thing that he would contemplate is meeting Trump one-on-one. Now, even if you have an appointment to meet him privately, you might get there and discover that it's a press conference. So I think that should be avoided. How we're going to go about it, I don't know. All kinds of things could happen if the president meets. He could go bring out one file and embarrass the president completely, if you know what I mean. All kinds of things. And it's what I call a rough rider. He would go at anything. And President Tinubu needs to be careful, because I think one of the targets also could be to get him out of office. And to say that an attempt cannot happen would be living in denial. The president is on a hot seat right now, and so this thing has to be handled carefully. So the federal government again issued a statement. They disclosed the neutralization of 13,500 terrorists, with 17,000 suspects arrested. The federal government says, okay, so we take note of the U.S. concerns about religious freedom violation. They move to resolve areas of misunderstanding via diplomatic channels, and that's where the Foreign Affairs Minister comes in. Festus Keyamo writes Trump. Festus Keyamo should keep out of this and keep to his ministry. You cannot even write Trump in your personal capacity. Face your own ministry and don't muddle up things. Don't muddle up things. That's part of the problem. Everybody now wants to see you are a minister. Everything you say will be seen as a government whatever, and you are not the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So he should stick to his own area and let us handle this thing in an orderly manner. How does it sound? Oh, a minister from aviation, where did that come from? You know, and that's what happens. Everybody wants to please the president. They want to show concern, but you are making these issues more and more complicated. Festus Keyamo should stick to his visiting Airbus and doing his aviation thing and stay out of it. Senator Cruz vows to release names of officials involved in religious persecution. He shouldn't vow to release names. He should release the names. If you've gotten to a point where you said you are encouraging invasion of the country, release the names of those responsible and then see what the government will do. So we like Senator Cruz. Thank you very much, Ted Cruz. Thank you very much that you have the names. Can we please have those names publicly? If you really do want a resolution, don't use it as a threat weapon. You release the names. Abi Sharif. Then you won't dictate our foreign policy. The U.S. lawmaker has slammed China for saying that you won't dictate our U.S. policy. We will leave, that is between U.S. and China. They can solve their problems between them. So that's essentially those are the developments. Some of the developments that we have got here, and well, we hope that the government will tread carefully. But again and again, I still would say to my president, because look, whatever it is, Bola Tinubu is our president, is my president, and I really wouldn't pray for anything to happen to him in any manner. History is watching. He has to be very, very careful. And I'd like again to repeat, no overzealousness on the part of other people like Festus Keyamo. You have no business. Face your aviation. You're a minister. Once you're a minister, you lose your personal identity. And let's leave Tuga and those who he thinks he can work with to handle this thing gently. That's my resolution for today.
I'd like to ask your opinion about whether you think the military, especially the Chief of Defense Staff, should have said something.
It's a political thing. It's dangerous. See, whatever in diplomatic circles, there have been so many wrong things we have done. And we don't want to put our foot in it. So what we need now is a coordinated response, such that even if you were going to say something, it should be handed over to him. You say this, you say that. That's why I told the people like Festus Keyamo to keep out of it. So that we don't look like a bunch of disorganized people, which in truth we are. But it can be corrected.
Yeah.
Okay, it can be corrected. Let the diplomatic whatever, those who let them handle it. I'm sure at FEC meetings you can contribute whatever it is.
The reason I asked this question is because DSS has already said something about the trial of the massacre perpetrators, and they said that they are trying them. They gave an update on it.
But was it in a direct response to what Trump said?
Yeah, because people have started bringing up all of the issues.
Oh no! So what the DSS have done is to up their brief on what has been done. That's fine. I thought you were saying the chief of army staff should respond or whatever.
No, I'm talking about the
just
security general.
Well, that's it. That's what the government has said now. The numbers of people killed and so on and so forth. To be honest with you, I would like a coordinated response. So that the chief of army staff is not saying anything different from the DSS, whatever. They should pull whatever they have, and they must have a lead.
Right.
There must be a lead person in all this. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, or maybe the Vice President. Occasionally, the President comes from back and says something. If he don't, because all other things that should have happened haven't been done. Ambassadors and so on and this and that. And therefore, we need to be careful.